The MLB owners today have approved a proposal for the start of the MLB 2020 season. Some of the main highlights of this proposal is a 50% revenue sharing split with the players, universal DH throughout the season, 82 game season. The scheduling system would be different. We're going to see you'd play the NL would play the NL Central, play the AL Central, the NL East would play the AL East, and then the NL West would play the AL West to again try to keep everything in a closer proximity, of course. And there would be a 14-team playoff format introduced in this season, an expanded playoff. And looking at all this, it is pretty understandable as to why the MLB players are expected to decline this offer and reject it in counter or whatever they end up doing here. I mean, first of all, the 50% revenue sharing split with the players, that's just the end all be all beginning story of trying to introduce a salary cap into the next collective bargaining agreement, and you can see why the players would not want to go on with something like that. You see the universal DH thrown into this throughout the season. Again, there's stuff in this proposal. It's going to be a game of give or take. It really is. The players are going to have to understand that the MLB is going to lose a substantial amount of money this year. They're saying 40% of their revenue comes from stadium ticket sales, parking, and so on and so forth. That doesn't include the fact that they're going to miss half the season as well. So you can cut the revenue in half just for missing half the season. Then you cut it in, you take that half and cut that by 40% because of nobody being in the stadium. So there's going to be a big loss of money this year, and the players are going to have to understand that. From that standpoint, that they do need that there's going to have to be some sort of cut taken here. But looking at this proposal, though, you wonder if you're a player looking at this, does the MLB really want to get this deal done? How badly do the owners want to get this deal done? Because when you're throwing stuff in like a universal DH, which is something just to meet the MLB's agenda, or if you're throwing in something like the 14-team playoff format, which, the MLB's trying to push to expand the playoffs, again, you're throwing stuff in like that right now because it's a personal agenda thing. It's not, let's worry about getting the season done. It's like, let's worry about things that we want to bash out here that don't necessarily need to be thrown in here, but we want to throw it in there because it's stuff that we want type of deal. You got to throw that stuff out. It's got to be a game of give or take from both sides, and this looks like the MLB just trying to throw in everything and anything that's going to benefit the owner's side of things more than the player's side of things. I think you want to play the revenue sharing split game, something the players have to look at, either something like that, or they have to look at seeing a reduction, everybody losing half their salaries on the season, whatever that route has to be there. The 82-game season makes a lot of sense here because they expect them to start in July. I can see them agreeing on something like that going into playoffs. The 14-team playoff format, again, I think that's something both sides can agree on just because, again, it's an 82-game season instead of 162 or whatever, 80, 82, whatever they end up playing around that range. So you want to throw in a couple extra teams. That makes sense. And it's, again, something the players look at and say, okay, it's going to generate some extra revenue for the league this season as well if we have extra teams playing. And you're not playing as much baseball anyway. You're missing half the season. So, again, that's something that can be done there. But I can't stop looking at things like the universal DH. That glares the most out of everything here because the NL doesn't have it. The MLB wants to force the NL into having the universal DH. For whatever reason, I still don't understand why that needs to be necessary. That's a whole nother subject to talk about there. Don't think the DH needs to be added, but it's something thrown in there that says, is it needed at all? No. Completely unnecessary addition to this agreement. And I do think both sides need to get the politics out of it. You got to get the politics out of it and do what you can to hash out this season. Because at the end of the day, neither side has leverage. You want to get paid, you want to make money, you're going to have to play some games. If they don't, the less games they play, the less money they're going to make. That's the end-all, be-all story of all of this. So both sides are going to give some, both sides are going to take some. It's going to be interesting to see the route both sides take here. Ultimately, I do think something gets done, but I think this is just your big, let's swing for the fences by the owners here, and we'll wait for the counter negotiation, the counter agreement by the players, and at some point they'll meet in the middle there. It'll just be interesting to see what the players have to do as a rebuttal.